bbc.co.uk/introducing. Upload your music now. Introducing. BBC Introducing on Radio Humberside.
As part of a national initiative called the Big Music Project, Casey, Martin and Joe are with me tonight. They've been putting on gigs, working with local artists, and have been at the heart of a young alternative punk scene exploding in Hull in the last few months. They've got a compilation album sorted. It's called Hull's New Breed, and they've got it with them. Welcome to the show. Thanks for bringing it in.
Thank you, Alan. Thank you.
Okay, so tell us what have you been up to, and how did you get started in it and get up to this point? Give us the potted history. Give us the background to this.
Well, basically through the Warren Young People's Centre, we got involved with the Big Music Project. It meant that we had the opportunity to go on various trips around the country and see what really goes on, putting on live music events at all levels, from like a small local scale to like we went to like the Brit Awards, Young People's Brit Awards, which is obviously a bit bigger. And then basically the aim of the project was to get us involved in putting on something of our own that would involve the local community. So we thought, well, all these great punk gigs are happening, Martin's putting them on over in East Hull, Joe's getting involved with helping out some of the live sound. We thought some of these bands need exposure, let's use this opportunity, put out a CD.
So when it comes to putting out this CD, how did you know what to put on it? Did you get together as a group and make a group decision on it, or was it already obvious what bands it was, or is it just who you've got coming up live?
Well, me and Casey and Joe both work with Nigel Holmes from Smash It Up, which have been running punk gigs for years now in Hull, and I can't really think of where he was based before that, but he's showcased quite a lot of local, national and international acts, bands like 999, Cap Down, GBH, like big old school punk bands. So from us obviously being involved with these gigs and going to these gigs, we get to see the cream of the crop of Hull's local scene, as well as making our own music, being able to work and liaise with these bands. So we kind of got a feel of who we knew was good and who we wanted to work with, just because of how they've presented themselves on stage and how professionally they work with promoters. So
then when you've been able to present this idea to the bands, you've got to present something to them that's brand new for the first time. What have you been saying to the bands to get them involved then? When you describe the package to them that's on offer, what are you saying?
Basically, a lot of the bands haven't had a previous physical release. They've maybe at best had some demos up online, which is always great, but something you can push and promote at shows to an audience to say, like, yeah, if you've enjoyed us, we've got CDs on sale, and there's there's 5 other local bands alongside us. You're getting great value for your money. Like, that was enticing to a lot of the bands. I mean, we had a great response. Pretty much everyone we asked to be on the CD was immediately just like, yeah, we really, really want to be on this thing. And I mean, even since, we've started getting messages on the page asking about Volume 2 from new bands who are keen to get involved.
Yeah, there was a lot of bands we kind of wanted on the CD that we couldn't get on for issues and stuff on it. So it was
just time issues in the end.
So we kind of we were kind of overwhelmed with what we could offer.
I think Joe can tell you a bit more about it.
Yeah, I think the main aim of Hull's New Breed was to basically, because there's a scene out there, but like a lot of young bands need to sort of figure out their steps to succeed and get more into the scene. So it's basically just to give them a platform to do that. And like Martin says, there was like tons of bands that we considered, but we was really looking for bands like at all different levels, really, weren't we?
Yeah. I mean, System Paralysis, for example, they've been going about 5 years now and have had 5 releases in 5 years. But then a band like Headless Hangman, we're like a few months old, and we've got like 2 tracks on this compilation, and that's the first you're going to hear of us. So it's definitely a platform for us in that sense.
Yeah.
Gives you kind of musical CV, doesn't it, to tout your wares around the place. So how are you going to get it out? Are you just going to give it to are the bands? I know you're not just going to give it to the bands, but are the bands going to have the opportunity to distribute it themselves and sort of give it to people who think it's going to influence?
Well, basically, thanks to the Big Music Project's funding, we're getting 50 physical copies of the CD pressed, which will be available at a launch night at the end of this month at the New Adelphi Club. It's a Sunday night, March 29th, and basically the first 50 tickets we sell, and they're selling already, so snap them up if you can. Yeah. First 50 tickets will receive a free copy of the CD on the night. It's great value because it's just £5 for 6 bands, and you get the free CD if you're in the first 50. So that is like the main way of getting hold of it at the minute, and then hopefully, once it's sold out, we can get another press in and the bands can start distributing it themselves. But it'll also be available via Bandcamp, and so they can push that link around through their social media.
Does that mean I have to pay for my own music?
Well, there will be promo copies.
So give us an idea who's on it. You mentioned some of them. Do you have like a full list of everybody who's on it and
definitely,
what's on it?
Yeah. Like we've already mentioned, System Paralysis, cracking local punk trio.
Fantastic band.
We actually share their drummer, Headless Hangman. We sort of caved Eddie for a bit, didn't we? And he was like, I'll help you out for a bit, and now he's quite keen to just stick with us for now.
We got quite lucky with that.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's how we've got so far so quick, but And then aside from that, we've got the Restless Wild, who actually have System Paralysis old bassist but on guitar. You start realising how interconnected this scene really is.
I think that's what I like about it. Like I think this punk scene has got connection with just the original punk scene, where there's kind of like the affinity, within bands, and the kind of unity that some other scenes might be a bit lacking in, I think.
Yeah, but you've put on like all 3 of those bands, well, between you and Nigel.
Yeah.
And then as well as like Attack the Embassy are also going to be on there.
Yeah.
Like always a hit, like every time live locally. Is a big band on the local scene at the minute.
Yeah.
And then Left Ahead again. Like they've been going good few years now. Really great little local punk trio. Again, there's a lot of 3-piece bands. Headless Hangman's the only exception, really.
Yeah.
But then my own band as well, Nothing's Happening, another 3-piece punk trio.
Are we the only
it's Headless is 5 3-piece punk bands and 1 5-piece punk band.
Yeah.
I mean, we use punk loosely because there's a lot of sort of alternative rock crossovers in it. But I think you hear that comes through on the CD.
Yeah,
anyway.
I think the term punk kind of goes over just to describe the music. I think, like I was saying, it describes the the attitude to it and the approach of how we do it. Because it's all DIY. It's all looking out for each other and helping each other get the scene thriving.
It's more of a lifestyle, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Punk, like.
I mean, off the back of that, like when I first went to the Rain Club down Holderness Road, East Hull, it's where I first met Martin, and he was fronting his old band, City of Stone, and just got chatting to him afterwards. It turned out, he'd booked the gig, he'd booked every other band for the gig, pretty much put on that entire night, like managed to rig a PA somehow, and like I immediately picked up on that vibe of what was going on down there. It's like these kids were just doing it themselves, like it's DIY for real, It's,
Jack of all trades, master of none.
Yeah, definitely. So I just had to get involved, and like I've brought a few bands to the venue, and then you've in turn like given bands that platform to start playing at venues like the Adelphi, and it's really great. It's something really organic happening at the minute.
Well, we'd love to support you in what you're doing. I hope, like Nigel, who you mentioned earlier from Smash It Up, you're going to regularly tell us what you've got on so that we can tell everybody else and
definitely
put it up on our Facebook. I know that we've asked you to put the links up on our Facebook so that they've gone on there. So BBC Introducing Humberside, have a look on there, links to everything that you've got. But you just want to tell us just now, so anybody who's on the computer now, which a lot of people are listening on that, what's a really good place to just go and have a look now to see what you're doing?
Well, most of the promotion at the minute is coming out through our Facebook page, just facebook.com/Hull's New Breed Official. And I got a bit of stick for that because people were saying, don't put official till it's been replicated, and I'm like, well, it won't be replicated now, will it? So, yeah. But so the Facebook and then the YouTube page as well. There are a couple of music videos up there already for System Paralysis and my band Nothing's Happening. But every band will be getting a video up there, so that's worth checking out. We're also going to be making a Twitter page and Instagram, which will be up by the time this goes to air.
And selling out.
Well, wish you all the best of luck with it. I like the attitude you've adopted with it, and you're right. Punk is an attitude and a lifestyle and a movement, and I love that you're doing it. You're focusing on that and letting people get involved. It is a great thing to have a musical CV to be able to take around and play to people about what you do, and it's great that you're actually showing a load of other Hull bands while you're doing it. So it just remains for us to play a track from that, and I've got a Headless Hangman track to play.
I ain't even heard this yet.
Oh, well, neither has a lot of people, so we play it for everybody then. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you.
That's Headless Hangman from Hull's New Breed Vol.1.